Welcome back to Home Sweet Home Cooking. I am your host Rocky in my mother's kitchen with my mom. Say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
She's sitting over there doing something for taxes, I'm assuming. It is now early January. It is in the 40s today outside. It is raining. We're in Alabama. This is that dreary winter weather, and we were talking about comfort foods over the last couple of episodes we did. So today is definitely what I would consider a comfort food. We call this it's an American style goulash. Hungarians, don't get upset. This is not traditional Hungarian goulash. This is an American goulash. Also known as American chop suey. Or
Glop. They call it Glop.
They call it Slumgullian. Or they call it chili mac. It goes by many names. I don't like calling it chili mac because there's no chili powder in it. Therefore, it is not chili mac. It is kind of sweet. Because of the tomato, the stuff that goes in it, without being overly sweet. Tangy, saucy, cheap. This hits a lot of buttons. It's number one, it's comfort food. Number two, it's cheap. It's some hamburger and some pasta, an onion and some tomato stuff, and that's it. You can feed a lot of people with it. Throw on a little side salad, throw a can of corn on the stove with it, and get a cheap $1 loaf of French bread, and you can stretch this out and feed a lot of people. I'm doing this as a one pot. My mom normally will boil the pasta separately and add it cooked. I'm going to do this as a one pot version. I'm doing it in a Dutch oven. You can do it in a pan if you have a lid for the pan. I don't have a lid for my cast iron pan, and I'm using the induction cooker, so I need the cast iron. So I'm going to do it in the Dutch oven. Few ingredients, which means that it's a simple cleanup being one pot. Stretch the meal, feed a lot of people, very, very comfort food, filling, and like I said, this is a good meal. It's one of my favorites. So I have some oil heating up in the Dutch oven. I'm going to drop in one whole onion because I like onions. I got that. I like mine a little roughly chopped, so you get some bigger onion pieces going in there. I don't mind having to bite through a little bit of onion. If you don't want them that big, dice them up smaller. And earlier this week, my girlfriend and I had hamburgers, and we just went ahead and fried up, made extra patties out of the hamburger meat. So my hamburger meat's already cooked. All I got to do is kind of dice it up, crumble it up, cut it up however I want to do it. Probably just going to cut it. And this is what kind of makes it quick because I'm using leftover hamburger. It's what helps make it a one-pot meal. Although you could do this in a one pot, you just have to drain the grease off. I'm a big fan. My mom and I both do this. We'll kind of overcook. You know, if there's a chicken recipe, we'll just do the whole chicken and then bag up whatever chicken is left over, put it in the freezer, and have meat already pre-cooked, ready to go on something to make a meal quick and easy, where we don't have to go ahead and cook off in another pan, cook meat for whatever meal. So I highly suggest this. I know I've mentioned in other videos. If you're cooking hamburgers anyway, cook a couple extra. Freeze them. Now you've got your ground beef for something like this or whatever you want. Chicken, especially for chicken enchiladas, things like that, excellent way to do it. I'm going to get these. Normally if you do this in here, you would go ahead and start the hamburger, then you put the onions into the hamburger, then you can drain it off, and then they cook together. But I'm just going to go ahead and continue chopping this up. When those get softened up a little bit, I will go ahead and be back and we can finish this up. Alright, I got the onions softened down a little bit. Just a little bit of brown around the edges. I did add a little bit of salt and pepper to them. I got to be careful when I salt and pepper this because my hamburgers were seasoned when I cooked them with black pepper and my own home blend of seasoned salt. So now I'm going to add the meat back to this. Or I guess I'm going to add to it for the first time through. So if you were doing this with fresh hamburger, you now drain it, get the excess grease off. You can leave a little bit in. Grease is its flavor. It's also a filling if you're trying to stretch a dollar. That's one of the secrets of the old like Depression era cooking is you leave some of the fat in, and it stretches the amount of people you can feed because it's calories. And you can eat less and be full. So get that back in there. She makes, my mom, like I say, well, I'm trying to adapt my mom's recipe to this. So far I've done it pretty much like my mom would, hamburger and onion. Right, Mom?
Right.
Right. Next, she adds a can of tomato soup. And that gives it kind of that sweet, I guess, to me, what gives that a sweeter flavor to it. Because to me, tomato soup is sweet. And then she would add some type of tomato sauce or tomato paste and some water. What I found is San Marzano tomatoes. This Cento brand is delicious. So I've got these peeled tomatoes, and it's kind of in its own sauce. So I'm going to pour this in there, but these are kind of whole tomatoes. So I'm going to pour one out at a time, and I'm just going to squeeze it and just gush it out through my fingers. And that's kind of like, I don't know, it's making its own thicker sauce out of it. But it's also going to give you some little smaller chunks of tomatoes. Alright, get that in there. And these are San Marzanos are only grown, can only be called a San Marzano if they're grown in the San Marzano region of Italy, because this particular type of tomato is the way it is because of the volcanic rich soil that's in that region. Alright, so now I'm going to add tomato paste. I like the flavor of tomato paste too. It's very rich, very strong in tomato flavor. Come on. I'll use tomato paste just by itself for pizza sauce. And I'm going to add some ketchup. This is going to give it a little bit of more sweetness, a little bit of vinegary tang to it. Get that stirred in. And now she would heat this through and add in the cooked noodles. This is where I'm going to differ. Try to do it in one pot. I'm going to add 1 pound of elbow noodles. You can use shells, you can use whatever you want. And then I'm going to add, I'm going based off another recipe that we did, similar to this. It was a pasta and sausage recipe, and it called for 2.5 cups of water, so I'm going to put in 2.5 cups of water, and that should be enough to rehydrate the pasta. So now I'm just going to bring this up to a simmer and get the cover on it and let it go for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes probably, until the pasta gets cooked through, and then we'll have a taste.
More?
Mm-hmm. This is for the both of us to eat.
I'm full.
Okay, that's good then. It has about 30 minutes. I had it on a very slow simmer to get the noodles soft. And this is like I remember it. It's hot, very hot. Don't burn yourself. Yep, that's delicious. Alright. This would be the way my dad would eat it, just a little more salt and pepper for him probably. And we like to add a little flavor to it, usually.
Yes.
So we add a little bit of grated Parmesan, the cheap stuff in the can that smells like barf.
It does.
It does. It does not smell good, but it does add a good flavor to it, cheesy flavor to it. And for us, crushed red pepper. Now you can put this, if you're making it for somebody who likes hot stuff, you can go ahead and put this right in here while it cooks. But that is the way we always used to eat it.
That's how we eat everything.
Pretty much, yeah. But we don't like hot stuff.
No.
We like the flavor that I like the flavor that the pepper brings. It's not the fact that it brings heat; it brings that fruity, peppery flavor.
Better.
I say this would be a good meal because it doesn't cost much to make that big pot full. So you can serve several people. A couple slices of French bread, the cheap $1 loaf from Walmart or wherever, day-old bread, doesn't matter. Texas toast if you like that. A small salad. A head of lettuce doesn't cost much. Whatever small trimmings you can put on that, and some dressing to stretch that out. If you want to open up a can of corn or green beans and have a vegetable on the side, you can stretch it out even more. You can serve a lot of people with this pot. And we always did that. We used this a lot for hunting, when we had guests up for hunting. So, cheap, you can stretch it out, feed a lot of people. Quick and easy, it's not hard to do, simple ingredients. That's what I like about, I think also adds to the fact that it's a comfort food, is it is so easy to make.
It is easy.
Yeah, so, like I say, it is a cool day, rainy day in January down here in Birmingham, so this definitely to me hits the spot today, for sure. And it reminds me of home.
It rains in Birmingham?
Yeah, we're entering monsoon season number 2. So, guys, thank you for watching. Now, I know this is American goulash. Don't get upset. It's not Hungarian. It's not traditional. This is the American goulash. They call it American chopped suey, glop, Slumgullian. They call it chili mac. To me, it's not really chili mac. I mean, this is not really a chili pepper. You'd have to add chili to it. You could just add chili powder to this and make it a chili mac. Yeah. But it could easily be made into a chili mac just by adding chili powder, and then therefore it's chili mac. So very versatile. Oh yeah, that's the other thing about it. It's so versatile. You can do what you want. You like green pepper? Put green pepper in it. You like mushrooms? Mushrooms would be good in there. Do whatever you want. Take this recipe and make it your own. But American style goulash, American style chop suey. We also did a Chinese chop suey earlier this year, so we got that traditional. And it's not even, technically that's still an American chop suey because it was invented in America.
Right. Just like pizza.
Yeah. The American chop suey was invented in America by a Chinese cook who wanted to make a food that was not offensive to Americans or the Chinese people at a diplomatic kind of meal. So that's where the American chop suey came from, was a Chinese chef in America made this to suit both halves, to make the Chinese, but this is definitely not Chinese food. This would be
German.
Well, it comes, I mean, goulash comes from a Hungarian background, but this is, like I say, this is not traditional. I would love to do a traditional one sometime, so maybe that'll be coming up. If you have a recipe for a traditional Hungarian goulash, please link it below.
I lost mine.
I have one that from Elton Brown from Good Eats that I want to try, but it's a very time-consuming, intricate one, so I may or may not do that one. But thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, trying to grow the channel. Yeah, we give this recipe a thumbs up for sure. And we're going to probably do more comfort food because it's that time of the year, so I don't know what's going to be coming out, but just keep watching, and as long as you guys are subscribed and watching videos, we'll keep making them, having fun doing this, because we enjoy doing this together, because it's fun.
Because it's fun.
It is fun. So, thank you for watching. Have yourselves a great day.